how's it going, guys? Jujubear here, welcome back to the channel. You may have been wondering where I've been, or what kind of rock I've been hiding under for the past couple of months. But I'm back. Today marks the first day in the place that I just moved into, so I'm kind of just trying to get things together and get things sorted. But my computer's back, my setup is back on track, and we're going to celebrate with a Total War Rome 2 battle that was sent to me by Bobi. Oh man, he sent it to me such a long time ago. I feel bad that I haven't put it out until now, but Bobi's going to be playing as the SUEBI in this battle here. You can see he's got 4 of these Germanic Scout Riders up the front. He's got lots of Spear Levy. I think he's got, oh my god, such a long line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Behind them, he's going to have a couple of Club Levy out in the flanks. Germanic Slingers. Also, he's got a bunch of Swordmasters in the center. Look at this, just a big old clump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including his general here, who is going to be running. Of course, he's going to be running Fast Charge and Orivistus General. Sorry. Now his teammate here is Legatee of Carthage, and he's going to be playing as the GETAE. This particular army here, I thought was not too bad either. He's got a Noble Horseman out the flank. He's also got a Spear Horseman. Out the front, he's got Dacian Heavy Skirmishers, 3 of them. Not often that you see them brought in an army like this. Noble Swords, Folksmen, Mercenary Axe Warriors. The core is going to be made up of these 4 Noble Swords, but out in the flanks he's got Folksmen, Axe Warriors, and up the back these Spear Warriors just to defend the flanks and the back. Now, the Galatians split out super wide. That's going to be Helvetian Slayer, so he's split up his army, his forces pretty wide here. He's got Celtic Slingers, Levy Freeman at the front to meet shield. He's got Galatian Legionnaires, Naked Sword, and a Cappadocian Cav. You should have pretty much the same thing over here. Maybe a bit more firepower with an extra Slinger. Naked Swords, 2 of them. Cappadocian, so a bit more beefier on this side. And he's also got his General on a Noble Horse and a Galatian Spear over on this side as well. Now, the ARDIAEI player is Harren, and he's going to be bringing the ARDIAEI here. So straight off the bat, wow, he's going to be chasing off those Galatian Raiders. He's actually going to be able to catch them with the Tarentine Cav. That's going to be a pretty quick and easy fight for them. In the center, he's going to make up the bulk of the force. So Axe Warriors just helping out over here with the Levy Freeman. Got Axe Warriors over there as well. A couple of Slave Slingers in the center. That's pretty good. Illyrian Noble Hoplites, a long line of them. Holy moly. That's 6 or 7 of them. Celtic Warriors up the front, and a Slave Javelinman, a lonely guy left up the back, and a couple of Axe Warriors over here as well. So, wow. Okay, so the battle's starting off. It's a huge battle, spanning a really, really large part of the battlefield. So for the most part, I'm going to be spread out like this. Legatee's going to be pushing pretty hard with his GETAE force here. He's pushing up with a couple of Folksmen, Axe Warriors, Spear Warriors. He knows that he can get through these lighter units, the melee units, pretty well. The cavalry is pretty dangerous to these Axe Warriors, to be honest. He's going to want to kind of pull back and not get caught off on the back foot here. But notice how Bobi's taking the initiative right out in this flank, and he's going to start to kind of push. And already we're seeing some progress against the Galatian Raiders. So Helvetian Slayer will have to try and keep on his toes here if he's going to stop Bobi from making any more advances. We got a bit of an engagement happening here. Illyrian Noble Hoplites up against Heavy Spears, and we've got a charge from the Mercenary Cappers into those Mercenary Axe Warriors. And what did I tell you? They're going to completely collapse upon those units fairly quickly. Axe Warriors are going to absolutely demolish those Spear Warriors. So straight off the bat, Legatee is going to have a pretty hard time. No engagement out in the right flank. Though Bobi looks like he is going to wrap it around and try to isolate this force here. We've got a charge order from those Galatian Legionnaires. The GETAE forces are starting to crumble. Got a lot of these heavy spears that are in a really bad place at this point. Flanking with the Folksmen. If you can get a charge into the back with those Folksmen, that'd be ideal. Getting an awesome charge in here on the Celtic Warriors. Not very spread out though, so they're not going to make the best damage. Legatee is going to be pulling through with his units to get into those Mercenary Syrians and the Slave Slingers. Brutal combat here with the Noble Swords charging into the Illyrian Noble Hoplites. In the end, the Noble Swords will probably win that, but it will take a very long time. We almost have an engagement out in this flank. We have charges coming in from the Galatian Legionnaires into those units. No frenzied charge from the Naked Swords though. We do have the Cav getting in amongst things, picking up a bunch of kills. How many do we have now? 50 kills just off 1 charge, no losses. Thank you very much. Germanic Scout Riders in a dangerous place. Yep, Bobi's going to have to pull them back. Doing a great job. We've got pretty awkward charges being issued here. So Helvetian Slayer having to micro out in 2 fronts is really taking its toll, and he's losing track of a lot of different units that are in the center here. Bobi's Swordmaster General picking up a bunch of kills, 15 so far. Gonna have a good time against those naked swords in engaged combat. And the Noble Horsemen being caught up in the Cappadocian Cab, they're not going to be able to run away there because they are very heavy shock cavalry. Bobi's content to just hold back at the moment. He has not used Harren charge ability just yet. And he's carving his way through a number of these different units. Finally, Frenzy Charge is being used up against those Swordmasters. Going to get a lot of kills there. But it looks like, yeah, Helvetian Slayer's left a couple of units out here. This is pretty good. Celtic Slinger picking up a couple of kills in the center. But Harren is actually picking up a few pieces here, winning a couple of key battles. He does have a lot of these skirmishes left on the field. And wisely, Helvetian Slayer has left his Noble Horse up the back just to defend those skirmishes. Keep our enemy units off their back. Naked Swords, if they can get a charge unhindered, they'll demolish that Folksman there. And these Galatian Legionnaires just being pretty useful in getting them in amongst these skirmishes. They're going to have to try and catch them somehow. And it looks like the general of Helvetian Slayer has just been activated. He may be coming into the fight here. Shield Wall being activated. No Aurea Vistus charge being issued just yet. Interesting stuff. What are these slingers firing on?
As you say.
Yes, firing the club levy. Not a bad target there. They are light. So straight off the... I think looking at this from above, I think... Yeah, Helvetian Slayer's not had the best initial attack. And look at this. He's just about to get a lot of these units... yeah, he's about to lose them. That's not a good place. Mercenary Axe Warrior is getting a good countercharge on those Spear Levy. Excellent stuff. But the Club Levy responding in turn to get a nice charge on those Axe Warriors. Just going to hold them up for a little bit and get rid of the rest of these skirmishes. So I think it's goodbye to this flank for Helvetian Slayer. And Harren, he's just lost an Axe Warrior up here. They're going to have to try and consolidate their forces, which it looks like they are going to do. Like, look at all these units kind of pulling into the center now. Plenty of units left out in that flank. So, looks like the GETAE forces were pretty much demolished fairly handily by a combination of rear charges. Look at this, excellent stuff. Noble Horse General coming into the back of the Noble Swords. But you do have to remember the Orivis's charge has not been used yet. I don't know if... Ooh, armor piercing damage. Pride has just been popped. They're going to be picking up a lot of kills here. 147 for the General there. Down to 69 men though. You have to be careful coming up against those Illyrian Noble Hoplites. That will be fairly useful just because I think the Illyrian Noble Hoplites have the most armor out of any unit in the game. So a good target to be using that ability against. Nice one, Bobi. So it looks like second stage of the battle is just beginning. Helvetian Slayer getting an absolute dream charge into these Club Levy, just bowling a lot of them over. That fight will be over within seconds there. Galatian Legionnaires taking a couple of javelins to the back, thanks to these Germanic Scout Riders. That was a pretty quick fight. Oh, dangerous place for the General here though. Being chased off by the Germanic Scout Riders. Bobi's seen the opportunity, and he's going to bring them in and start throwing some javelins. These guys don't have... Oh, getting caught up in those units there. Going to pick up a couple of kills. He's going to have to be careful that he doesn't get this Noble Horse isolated here, because the Germanic Slingers and these Scout Riders could easily do a lot of damage to those Noble Horse. And wisely enough, he's going to be pulling out, but he may just get caught up in the Swordmaster General there. Probably a good idea, I would say. But just look at the amount of forces that Harren and Helvetian Slayer have left in the battlefield. The Tarian Tive Cav just coming in and holding up those units. They really should be used to kind of cushion a charge from the enemy units. Hoplite Wall is activated. These Illyrian Noble Hoplites have been lasting for a long time. 109 kills. They are speed bumps, but they last forever. Absolutely. They just take so much time to kill them off. Illyrian Noble Hoplites. Bobi's going to be wisely pulling back. Aurea Vistus has just been popped. Fast charge has been activated. Ballsy move. Don't know if it really extended to a lot of the units that would have been useful in this charge. Swordmaster's up the back. He's going to have to get them activated fairly soon if he's going to hope to get them used. But yeah, you're going to see an absolute bloodbath here with these Illyrian Noble Hoplites. The General turning around, taking him head on. Oh man, an absolute bloodbath is about to ensue. Just watch these Illyrian Noble Hoplites dissolve 89, 85, 81. Oh my god. 75. Just loot. This is probably one of the beefiest Helvetian units in the game. And it's just absolutely dissolved under the weight of this Swordmaster and Spear Levy. Not even good units. Oh, there's Swordmaster over there. Yep, pretty much just absolutely dissolved. Backline is being threatened though by the Tarantine Cav. It looks like a couple of units have been left behind by Bobi. He's only just noticed they've been there. The Illyrian Noble Helvetian General is being hacked to death by this Swordmaster, and it's about to be good night. The fast charge effects have just started to wear off. And we've got the slingers and the skirmishers in the back line of Bobi just being threatened by Levy Freeman and Mercenary Tarantine Cav. Not a great move there. Bobi's going to be kicking himself that he's just lost that unit. But look at the tide of the battle, just starting to turn ever so slightly. Bobi's doing excellent job in the center here. Getting nice flank charges. Not allowing the naked swords to get out and have another charge. But here we go, we got some Galatian Legionnaires coming back into the fight. Nice little charge here. I gotta say, Helvetian Slayer's used his general to good effect here. Just charging into the Swordmasters, holding them up, giving them a little bit more time for the Slave Slingers and the Syrian Archers to take a couple more shots. Nice surround happening here from Helvetian, getting awesome shots into the back of these Swordmasters. It's stuff like this that will win him the match here, for sure. Though look at this. Another flanking movement happening from Bobi. 2 Spear Levy and a Club Levy. And a couple of Germanic Scout Riders here. They probably will win this little bit of combat here against the Tarantine Cav, but they're going to have to worry about the rest of the units that are still on the battlefield. These Noble Helvetians still getting shot in the back. Galatian Legionnaires have not been activated just yet. They've just been pulled up just outside of combat and they're throwing in their javelins. And it's only now that Helvetian Slayer is going to charge them in. This is the mark of an excellent player. Just knowing and having the awareness of when to do this kind of thing. So they've already picked themselves up. Jesus, 137 kills. But look at the Swordmasters, 176 and 164. Insane stuff. Celtic Warriors not doing so bad themselves, 82 kills. We do have a nice surround happening over here. We got the Nascent Swords being pushed off by the Swordmasters. And the General, 254 kills from Bobi. Excellent job there. Say goodbye. These Levy Freeman and Celtic Slingers that were taking shots into the back of these units are just about to be chased off here. The Levy Freeman will do a great job against the Germanic Scout Riders. They do turn around and charge into them, which is not a bad idea. I don't think the Celtic Slingers are going to survive from this ordeal though. Noble Horse being pushed in. You got to wonder how much ammo is left with these Slave Slingers and Celtic Slingers and Syrian Archers, because they could win the game if they do hold on, but only if he keeps them alive, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that here. Slave Slingers desperately trying to shoot down these Germanic Scout Riders. They're not going to be able to. And that's goodbye to them as well. So ever so slightly, the battle has been pulled a little bit more in the favor of Bobi. Bobi's now got his Germanic Scout Riders into these Slingers here. He knows he has to get rid of them to win the fight. And Helvetian Slayer is going to be chasing him off with the Noble Horse here. He's not quick enough though. He's going to be able to kill off a couple, but not enough. Only 34 men left in this Swordmaster unit. Over 250 kills. Take a bow. Getting an awesome charge into the back of these Galatian Legionnaires. That's probably going to break their back. And not a minute too soon, because these Swordmasters were just about to fail. All the General's abilities have been popped. Though the Noble Horse, or Helvetian Slayer, has not used all of his abilities just yet. These oh my god, the Germanic Scout Riders have been absolutely key in this match. In getting rid of the enemy skirmishers. Excellent job there. Just getting in amongst the Celtic Slingers. Just not allowing them to fire at any point. This really is a super juicy target for those units. And he's just preventing them from doing anything in this battle so far. And he's still got another one, almost full health. It doesn't look like... oh my god. Yeah, it doesn't look like Helvetian can pull this one back. He just doesn't have the protection that he needs to keep his Slingers alive. I think at the start of the match he had 2 Cappadocian Cav and 1 Noble Horse. But I think he was spread just a little bit too wide. And Harren wasn't able to hold the center for long enough. Excellent job by Bobi, especially in the second phase of the match. Doing some good work. Just not allowing the enemy Slingers to fire here. And we got a brave Noble Horse General. How many kills? 179 kills. Not too many. Actually, 183. I would have thought that would be a lot more, but we're about to see a bunch more kills coming in here. Almost 200. Excellent job. Though, Bobi's Swordmaster General, almost 300 kills there. Excellent stuff. And it looks like that's going to be GG. I was going to say easy, but it really wasn't. That was a very close match there. Thank you so much, Bobi, for sending that one in. And this really marks the first of many battles that I'm going to be bringing you guys. It's going to happen a bit more frequently now, especially with the Rome 2 stuff. So if you guys have battles that you really enjoyed, send them in to me and I'll actually put them up on the channel. So Ziva, the boys, coming up against each other. How did Bobi do? Excellent amount of kills, all done on the Swordmasters. The Germanic Scout Runners once again proving, indispensable. Spear Levy, excellent speed bumps and just getting into different combat situations and being annoying. The Club Levy, good job there as well. Legatee, I can't say he did excellent with any of his units, but the Noble Swords obviously are going to get a bunch of kills if they can get the opportunity. The Heavy Skirmishers probably weren't the best pick, but yeah, probably not the best pick, especially not against these factions here. Harren, also an excellent player. Illusion Noble Hoplites, just being the absolute mountains that they are, always going to get a bunch of kills. The Axe Warriors we use pretty well. Excellent use of the Tarantine at the start, and especially in the mid-game, use them to great effect in getting into the enemy skirmishes. And our Helvetian Slayer, excellent player, just spread a little bit too thin, like too much butter over bread. And he's got his Kappas into combat where they probably shouldn't have been, and they just got picked out a little bit too early there. But excellent game for more players. Thank you so much, Bobi, for sending me that in. Hopefully we get a couple of extra ones from anyone who wants to have their stuff shared on the channel. And this is Jujubear signing out. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.